Hey guys, and welcome to the Vampire Diaries After Show here on theStream.tv. Happy holidays, everyone, and we're gonna miss you for the next couple of weeks until we come back in January. But such a great show tonight. I'm not gonna lie though, I wanted a little bit more, but nonetheless, it was still a good episode. I'm your host, Meghan Lamontagne, and I am joined by my vampirelicious co-hosts, starting to my left.
Hey guys, Jessica Hickam here, and I can't believe we don't get any more new episodes until next year.
I know, oh my gosh, I can't, I'm gonna be counting down the days. Like Christmas, let's go. Vampire Diaries back on. And to my right.
Hi everyone, Malynda Hale here, and I really want to talk about these storylines that are just popped up for no reason because I was kind of getting frustrated during this episode.
Yes, absolutely. And last but not least.
Hi guys, Rachael Roland, and I missed you last week, and can I just say I'm kind of glad that Enzo's still here?
Yes. Yay. Well, okay, we'll talk about it. That was like a weird reaction I just had. I was like, yes, like I didn't realize I cared about him that much, but maybe I do. But
we all secretly love him.
Always one of the first things we have to talk about is Kai. Kai, the Christmas murderer, came back.
Oh my gosh.
Strong this episode and scary. He was starting to get a little nice, like not nice, but you know, kind of growing on us with Bonnie and that whole thing. Right. And then this episode, he was just like cray.
On a rampage.
For reals. So let's start off by talking about
the blood.
Just take it.
The blood in that first scene when he comes in and like stabs Joe with the injection, and he's got blood on half his
From
face.
stabbing that other girl, yeah.
Terrifying.
Right.
That was the moment when you're like, this episode's getting real.
Yeah, it's
dark.
real dark. I was like, here I got my Christmas hat on. I'm like, let's
No.
go. And then I'm like, whoa, okay.
Well, we've been saying this since he came on the show that Vampire Diaries needed this element. He, one, is a phenomenal actor.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
he's
good.
amazing. And not obviously everybody else on the show is really great as well, but I think he's kind of gonna have to make everybody step up their game a little bit because they have this amazing storyline. He's really bringing it every episode. I don't think any episode he's been on, he hasn't been amazing.
Right.
So I just enjoy him, even though he's crazy, but you're supposed to hate him, you know, and he's doing a great job.
He's like the perfect villain too, because as much as you hate him, you're kind of like, I like him. Like
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
drawn, like he plays a
Right.
bad guy so well. You're like, you make excuses for him. You're like, well, he's just jealous because of the rest of his
he's
family.
wounded, right. He was
Exactly.
shunned.
The thing about him too is he is like the one big baddie that we've ever had on the show. Like you can't excuse his behavior really at all, and you
Right.
sympathize with him, but also like he is the serial killer.
He's just evil.
He's evil.
Yeah.
I was really upset that we didn't see him merge. I was really excited. They were building it up at the beginning of this episode. They had Joe. They never finished that storyline, and that's why I think I was saying I was hoping for more. I was hoping for a little bit more of some sort of
Cliff.
conclusion
Yeah.
before we started like the second half of the season. What do we think is going to end up happening with the merge?
Well, I feel like that's the problem with this episode is that there was like, they brought in like so many things, but they didn't like finish.
Right.
And so there's like too many cliffhangers,
Right.
if that makes sense.
And then they
like
brought
we just
in
need one or
even more.
two.
Yeah.
Which is what Malynda was
yeah.
on about.
Yeah, it
like
just-
they didn't have enough.
Right. Seriously, you have enough. I love Vampire Diaries. We just need to stick with
Yeah.
it. But I think with the whole merge thing, I mean, like Joe said, I can beat Kai, just give me some time. So Kai's just like gonna go have fun doing something else evil until she's ready. Like I
Right.
don't know what he's gonna do while she's prepping herself.
Well, Kai is always one step ahead in the game. So when Stefan and Alaric ended up tying him to that tree, we think, okay, finally, Kai is, you know, he's stopped. Something is going to happen, and then of course he thinks, I'm going to steal all of the spell over Mystic Falls and get all of that magic back to me. And I was just like, genius, genius,
It
but
was
dangerous
so
at the same
clever.
time.
It was, and I love Damon's like, he stopped talking. He never stops talking, like something's wrong.
Okay, but we were talking about that. There's like this whole windstorm, and
he's just, like, on the
chilling.
phone.
Yeah. Right.
I have to admit, Damon used to be the badass of the episode,
and a little
but
more
now,
sharp. Yeah. But he's
now he's just, you know how like, I don't know if you guys watch Boy Meets World, how Eric used to be like the fun, like sharp character, and then just turn into kind of a dud. Like I feel like that's how Damon is. Like he's just kind of like
get it together. Right.
He's just like on the phone and it's like, oh, it's starting to rain. Okay. Oh, there's a windstorm. Elena, I'll call you later.
Elena,
I can't hear
Right.
you. Like there's something
I don't
happening.
know why I can't hear you.
I know. It was just, I don't
It's
know.
funny.
But he just ends up, but he has a way about him, and Melinda, I know you're going to hate me for this, but he has a way about him where you just have to love him.
Don't get me wrong. I think Damon, does have a charm about him. I still don't get I'm rewatching Vampire Diaries right now in my spare time, which I don't really have, and I still just don't get the transition of how Elena and Damon
getting the brunt of the 20 million texts that Malynda is sending us of going, I just don't understand why you guys are so obsessed with Damon. And I'm like,
So true.
Malynda.
I don't. Stefan was perfect anyway.
I was just saying to them, I came back to my phone yesterday. We have a group text between all of us, and I had 19 missed texts.
I had a lot to say.
Between Jessica and
I had
Malynda.
a lot to say.
Yeah, pretty much me defending Damon and Malynda telling me how wrong I was for liking
Okay, and
Damon.
then just not to mention, like Malynda brings up things from like season 2 that she's like, remember this? And I'm like, I don't remember. This is so far back.
But you have to go back to the facts, to the core.
The root of the problem.
root of the problem.
But that's
Anyways.
the thing, we
It's
see
true.
the growth, we see the change.
We see,
So does that mean then we're gonna love Kai eventually, to think that he could be a love interest for somebody?
No, because he's
I would
legitimately
not
crazy.
put it.
I think so.
I would not
No.
put it past Vampire Diaries.
Yeah,
I think
That's
that, I don't know. I don't know.
That's true.
But during this episode, we did have a Christmas miracle, and I would have said that in my best little Irish accent, right? It's Irish, the Enzo, right? Or is it Australian?
No,
I don't know. He's just hot with some
Or is
accent.
he, yeah, what's his accent? I don't know. I would have said it with an accent, but I
Irish
can't.
at all.
Yeah, it's Irish.
He looks like Spanish.
Oh, he's not Spanish.
No,
Is he
No,
Asian?
really, I think it's English, guys.
Okay.
It's embarrassing.
I know.
that is
I'm
embarrassing.
pretty sure it's
But
English.
whenever
yeah.
he's hot, and we definitely thought, so he has Matt, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Matt is with him, what's gonna happen? And they end up going over the border of Mystic Falls, but because Kai took all the powers, Enzo only got a little bit of the brunt, and then it stopped. And I was so nervous for Matt because we had heard some spoilers that Paul Wesley, who directed this episode,
I don't think he directed this one.
Not this one, but he did say that there was a spoiler that there may be someone that would die this episode, and I thought
all
for sure it was
thought.
going to be
Yeah,
Matt.
I
I was
thought Matt
so
was a gone
nervous,
for.
and I have to say I'm very excited that so far so good, and I'm excited with this new mix of Enzo and Matt, and maybe them working together.
I don't know. They keep trying so
Yeah.
hard to give Matt a purpose.
I was gonna say, and
I just-
Enzo doesn't have one anymore either. So they're like, let's give our two purposeless actors
Okay, whoa,
a
whoa.
storyline together.
I feel like Enzo's gonna become like the sub-villain, like underneath Kai, because now he's like out to like ruin Stefan's life.
Right, but he
like,
doesn't really
and
have
he's
a
gonna find
reason
Sarah.
to.
Well, I think hopefully when we start this, the second part of the season, they'll kind of go off and do their thing for a while because they'll be looking for Sarah. So I think maybe when the season starts, they'll be doing their own thing for a while.
Right.
And then maybe they'll loop back after we figure out this whole Gemini Coven thing.
Right.
but I thought,
Go ahead.
No, girl, you go.
I just I don't see the purpose of Enzo anymore. Like, we love Matt because he is the one human left kind of on the show.
Right.
You know, even Jeremy, even though he's human, he's a hunter. He has something, you know. So I think that they were looking for something to give Matt, but I just feel like Enzo really doesn't have a purpose anymore. I think he's hot, but that's not purpose.
I agree. Why not? No, I feel like, okay, they were like tackling something of when Jeremy was giving Matt that pep talk about being taken over by wanting to kill vampires. I
Right.
wonder if they're setting that friendship up with Enzo, because Enzo's so reckless, and now Matt's like on this new like.
Rampage to want to like get rid of.
But I think they did set up a purpose, because I was with you, Malynda. I was like, okay, what is Enzo's purpose? What is Matt's purpose? As much as I hate to say it. But when Enzo had that heart-to-heart with Matt, which totally threw me for a loop, and he said to Matt, listen, I'm jealous of Stefan. He has everything that I want, and he doesn't deserve it, basically. So this is kind of building it up to, okay, maybe I can see where he's coming from, and now there's going to be a difference of opinion with Stefan and Enzo, and Matt's going to be caught in the middle because where's Matt going to stand?
Especially because Stefan's never done anything to Matt.
Yeah.
I would love
Exactly,
to know,
exactly.
Malynda, where you stand on the fact that Enzo is against your boy.
Oh.
You're against it. I mean,
Oh, against her Prince
he
Charming.
should be jealous of Stefan because Stefan's the best person on the show. He's a good person.
He is a good person.
He's a good person. I just go for the good person. I just go for the good person.
He was a ripper.
He
they
felt
brought that
remorse, but he felt remorse. That's the difference.
Well, Damon
flat
feels
out said,
remorse.
"No,
Totally does
he
sometimes.
does
Damon
not."
has his moments.
Oh,
Okay,
please. Damon
he
does
He's just
not
not going to admit
care.
it because it's like his own insecurities.
Yeah, he has to
Yes.
play the tough guy.
Right.
No.
One of the most heartbreaking storylines of the episode was, of course, finding out that Sheriff Forbes has cancer, a brain tumor, and Stefan having to tell Caroline. And like that was one of the saddest moments that we've had in Vampire Diaries in a long time. And I know we all have some difference of opinion on this storyline. So, Malynda, we're going to throw it to you.
I'm like the crotchety one
No,
on,
no, no,
on
no,
the
but
panel today.
I-
No. But
I
yeah.
appreciate
Right.
Okay, good. I
Yeah.
appreciate you guys' opinions. So
Right.
why don't we go to you?
Well, okay, it is very sad. Obviously, that scene with her and Stefan was amazing, and hats off to Candice Accola for a really great performance. It just felt like a very contrived storyline because one, Sheriff Forbes is she's a reoccurring character. She's in and out of the storylines, but why all of a sudden just give her a brain tumor and cancer in the mid-season finale? It just seemed very forced and out of nowhere. And it almost felt like it's a contractual thing, like, oh, we don't know if we're going to renew her contract, so let's just, kind of kill her off in a way. It just didn't feel, it felt very forced.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely seems like the end is near for her.
Right.
And there's really no going back now that Stefan confirmed that vampire blood can't cure her.
Right.
So she's gonna die.
Or they turn her, but...
And I completely
That's
agree
what
with
I'm saying, like,
Malynda.
did they turn her?
It was just like so forced.
Right.
It was just all of a sudden this happened in the span of one episode, and
Right.
and I don't know. I was ready for more dirt with like the Gemini Coven and all of that drama, and not really this drama.
Right.
It
Yeah,
kinda-
I felt like
Sorry, go
they
ahead, yeah.
should have focused more on the Joe and why
Yes.
this guy needs Elena now or whatever.
Right.
And instead of this sad moment, I felt like they just threw it in there because they were like, oh, we need
Right.
a little spice.
Well, they mentioned that
Yeah,
when she went to the hospital after the whole trip thing, that's when it started. Well, then, remind us of that.
Right,
because we
right.
probably, at this point, have already forgotten the whole thing that happened with
The
the trip. when she got
reason
hurt.
why I liked the storyline, and I see where you're all coming from, it was very, okay, where did this come from? But it was very human and very natural.
Right,
And we
right.
haven't seen that on Vampire Diaries
good
in a
point.
long
Yeah,
time.
that's a very good point.
And when I was feeling for Caroline and Stefan having to tell her, it was such a real moment. And that's something that it happens in everyday life, and that's something that's real, and that's something that people have to deal with. So I thought it really brought a good story on the other end of such this magical, other Vampire Diaries spectrum.
And
Yeah.
another thing that kind of I just jumped to is I feel like they're switching up so many people's storylines and all of that. I was wondering, because it is so out of left field, are they setting something up for Candice? I'm blanking on her name.
Caroline.
Caroline's character of that she's going to our out is our
Yeah.
Mr. Miss Have It All Together girl gonna have a meltdown?
It's possible.
and that's
that'd
maybe
be-
how she and Stefan will ultimately
End up
come
together.
Yeah.
I was hoping for a little bit more from that scene. We
Yeah.
all, I'm totally on the Caroline train, but it would have been an inappropriate
I think
moment.
it's good it didn't happen, because then it
Yeah.
would have been like, "Ugh, that's too obvious.
It's too obvious.
There needs to be a
But I do
transition.
think it's weird that Bonnie doesn't have parents anymore. Elena doesn't have parents. All
Yeah.
her parents are just gone. And
Except for Alaric, who's drinking whiskey, and he's
that's
like,
true.
"Don't do that."
That's true. That's true. So we got to go back to Kai because Kai freaking just right hook
Right hook.
God.
Elena.
Oh
and
my
Kai,
gosh.
didn't your parents ever teach you not to hit a girl?
Obviously
no, he
not,
taught them
because
to
he's
stabbing people.
stabbing
Oh,
everybody.
God,
Right.
that came out of
He straight up
Yes, sir.
clocked her in the jaw. We
Yes.
were all just like,
I know.
crazy.
I know. Okay, so first of all, that was so weird. I was so excited that
so-
Elena was gonna go over to Damon's house, gonna cook her dinner. I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yeah, they're-
Elena's happening. This is amazing. And then he opens the door and he doesn't see her. And we're like, what is happening? What's going on? Kai put a cloak spell on her, invisible cloak spell, and and then the rest is history. So let's just talk about that moment. Let's talk about what his plans are. What do we think?
That's
Oh
what I
my
mean.
gosh.
It was
It's
too much of we're all why does he need Elena? I feel like they were going for such
true.
a big twist of what's gonna happen. It's too much. We're just what?
Yeah.
You weren't along for the new season.
I don't know. Again, it's complicated, but maybe they're going for Kai knows that Joe loves Alaric angle, and that they're kind of becoming a family. So maybe he's trying to get to Joe
through
Like as a
Elena.
bar-
through
Bargaining
Elena,
chip
and
or
he knows that Damon's a threat as it is.
Yep, that could be it.
So he's trying to kind of eliminate all the threats in one blow.
I guess.
But that just seems complicated.
It's,
You know what I
but
mean? That's just what I
everything's
mean is
complicated.
when you wait for the season to come back, you're just oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? I feel like we're just more dumbfounded of where are we gonna go with this?
Yeah, and why doesn't Kai, if he thinks he's so strong and manly, just grab Joe? And I know they need the moon, the eclipse to do the spell, the merging spell, right? but why doesn't he just take the first opportunity and get it over with before she has time to prepare?
Right.
Yeah,
I
where
know.
did she go? Like, I was just
don't
thinking,
know.
I was like, he had her and then she's just gone.
No, but she said something to him. What was it? She said, "Wouldn't it be a shame if you
Oh,
killed
you
me
killed
or
me.
whatever.
Killed me
before
But then he
Or-
came
the
back
merge.
and was like attacking Liv. Remember?
Well, yeah, because
Yeah.
he said he was going to stab her if.
Well, he just got her powers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then I don't think he cared.
I'm so-
I feel like we can't even talk. Like, we're just so confused. We're like,
It's just it's a lot.
I wanted
It's just we have
this-
no idea where they're going
Right.
with this.
I
Right.
wanted this merging thing to be done this episode.
Yeah.
Not
Right.
Kai to
Me
be
too.
done, but I wanted this storyline to be done because they're just carrying it out way too long. From when and even the whole Bonnie thing, I was gonna say bad word, but I'm upset about that. And you know, it's just like they're literally all over the place right now. And but when
I
we
feel
did
like-
see previews for starting next season, it did seem like they were wrapping it up a little bit. They were gonna they had a reason for all of this, and they had a reason that
I don't know. I kind of feel like the
Hopefully.
writers are just confused as well. They're like, we're not really sure. We're just gonna leave 9 roads open of where we're gonna go.
Yes.
Just in case.
Well,
what it
they
feels
didn't
like,
really
yeah.
conclude anything. I expected the merge to kind of lead into some big thing because I had read an article that said that they were really gonna have a unique twist on the Coven aspect, and I think that was Kai taking Mystic Falls' power, which was clever, but I wanted more from that.
Like, I would have liked, I think it would have been great if it ended as the merge was happening.
Yes.
And then we don't know
Yes,
who wins.
yeah.
Yes,
you know?
that would have been really great. It definitely did leave us at a cliffhanger for sure. No pun intended. But it was a very unexpected one. I
Right.
was just like, what? But what I am excited about, and I was telling Jessica this before we went live, that I'm excited to have Elena as the bait again and Stefan and Damon coming to the rescue because that's so
It hasn't
old
been a-
school
it's been a
and
while,
we
yeah.
haven't had
So
it in a
old school.
while.
Right.
But on the flip side to that, we did talk about how we really wanted to see Elena kind of like come into her own this season, and now she's
not
damsel
happening.
in distress again.
I know.
So there's kind of that like, what?
It's because she's fallen for Damon again, right,
I
Malynda?
guess. I was ready for some independent woman, action.
Right.
Like maybe she'll be the one to fight Kai.
And we've been kind of talking about this already, but what are we going along with that? What do we hope for next half of the season? What are relationships? Just anything that you
Stefan
want.
and Caroline.
Stefan and Caroline, we want to see that come to
Unless
fruition.
Enzo just like barrels through any chance of that.
Yeah, what do we think is going to happen with Matt and Enzo? Like, is there going to be a bromance happening? Like, what?
I feel like yes. I feel like they're totally gonna have
I mean,
romance.
that's what they set it up for. I just don't know what are they gonna do?
I think they're gonna go find Sarah.
Yeah,
What is the point of
I
her
don't
exactly
know.
though?
We
Like,
don't really know
Well,
yet.
someone, I don't know if you guys saw this on YouTube, but someone commented, I don't know if vampires can procreate, but what if Sarah's actually Stefan's child?
Well, no, but she is his relative.
No, but his child. Like he had an affair
Oh my
with Zach's
gosh,
wife.
I love that.
It can't work
Why?
because vampires can't have babies.
That's why I said I don't know if vampires
That's
can.
why like
but
the
it
whole
was
like
an
hybrid
interesting
thing
theory.
with Klaus
In the originals.
In the originals
Oh, that's
happened.
true.
And it was
do
like
it
the
in
miracle
Twilight.
Whoever
baby.
said that on YouTube, it was
Do it
interesting.
in Twilight.
That's funny.
This better not be a Twilight thing.
Wait, but can he like? Cause she was human. Like
Yeah.
it could be
So I don't
possible
know.
that it's. I feel like it
I
might.
don't know. Whoever said it, I thought it was an interesting
Okay, but
thought.
if they're turning this into Twilight, I will not be
would be
happy.
horrible. That'd be horrible.
I object to any baby
Jessica's like,
havings.
no.
That would be horrible. All right, guys. Well, we are very excited to hear what you have to say. So make sure you tweet us using the hashtag TVDAS. If you're joining live right now, thank you so much. Make sure you subscribe to theStream.tv for all these other fabulous after shows that we do that you're going to see right now.
Just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live,
Just in case you missed it live.
Oh, just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live, I'm doing something right now.
So we're all super excited.
This is dancing.
So what would that be, like a 7?
I cannot. I literally cannot. You guys have got to get it together.
Don't hate the player, don't hate the game. Hate the contract you didn't get.
He's a coward. He's a giant chicken shit.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna be like hurricane. Whoa.
Watch out for those girls. They are gagging them.
Hold the phone,
Hold on.
bro.
The more brutal you are, the more power you have.
Right.
That was sexy, it was hot, it was heated, I was into it.
You are gonna be the most high-paid hooker in the world.
Go ahead and invite your friends and everybody. Tell your mama, tell them, go ahead and turn the stove off and get up on the computer so we can get on theStream.tv.
Thank you again for joining us, and until next week, bye-bye.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the show. We have so many of you tuning in live. Thank you so much. I'm gonna give some shout outs right now, and I apologize in advance if I butcher any of these names. But first we have Tiago Silva. Thank you so much for tuning in. Forever Johnny Boy, love you. Regina Hernandez, Juju, Alf, Jayla Vincent, Denise V, Arden Blue, and Gina Angelina. Thank you so much for tuning in. Okay, so now we have some fan questions that we got throughout the week. First question comes from Laney14. Do you all think it will be Kai that triggers the werewolf in Tyler? I love this question because we didn't get to talk about that at all from this episode. We didn't really see Tyler that much.
He's becoming purposeless too.
He is. There are a lot of
He's all like trying to
characters.
protect Liv, remember?
Right.
Yeah.
But he's just been so barely in the show, I feel like, this
But we
season.
need the werewolf aspect
Right.
back. Because the witch thing is great, vampire. We haven't really seen a lot of vampire action in a little while. It's been a lot of So, but like, I loved Tyler as a werewolf. Like, so I hope that he. What am I trying to say? I hope that he does get his werewolfness back, but whether it'll be Kai or someone else, what do you guys think? Do you think that's in his future?
It's coming. I think it's definitely
They have
coming.
to bring it back for
yeah.
sure.
I
don't know if it'll
after
be Kai,
last
but
week, especially when he like pushed him off the banister, that whole
Yeah,
scene,
yeah.
Like that's when I was like, oh, it's gonna happen.
It's
Right,
coming,
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you for the question. That's definitely a good question, and hopefully we see some more of Tyler next half of the season. Our next fan question comes from Steroline is Light. Absolutely. Do you think that the winner of the feud between Stefan and Enzo will get Caroline? I love it. Because before this episode, I would have said, I don't know. But now that we saw that Enzo is in fact jealous of Stefan and crushing on Caroline.
Because you
question.
remember their little moment, like when Stefan was being such a butt face or
he
whatever, and they were like
comforted
in
her.
the
Yeah.
car, and like Enzo went back in to like protect her. I thought that was so cute.
Right.
Like,
What's her face for?
yeah, like Enzo has some good blood in him.
I just know I see the type that you have. That's
Okay, obviously I'm attracted to dysfunction.
We're gonna have intervention after this is over. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I do like Enzo, but I don't think that. I think Klaus was it for me, not Enzo.
So
Yeah.
You know what I
you
mean?
and I, right there.
No, but see, Klaus just had a
Caroline.
different.
He's just amazing.
He
the
had
end.
a different charm about his bad boy. I don't know. There's something different about
Okay,
him
he
versus
killed
Enzo.
Way more than Damon.
Oh,
Like-
I'm not
like,
excusing
Klaus
it, but
really is the wounded bird.
He
Like it's like
absolutely
he's
is.
so hurt. That's why he acts out.
100%. And you saw so much. I don't want to go into the originals too much, but even on Vampire Diaries, you saw the pain from his father. We don't know anything about Enzo really. We don't
That's
really
true.
know anything about him.
So don't judge him.
Well, we know some of
saying
his
this on
his history with Damon from the flashbacks
Right,
in season
but that's
5.
about
Other
it.
than that,
Yeah.
you're right.
So maybe I feel like maybe if we had more, then I'd have a little bit more of a connection to him to know. But like with Klaus, like he killed a bunch of people, but we got to see so much of his history.
Yeah.
So
That's a great point. I think that maybe Enzo will find something that will really damage Stefan's relationship with Caroline. Like maybe he'll dig something up in his past.
Yeah.
And maybe, who knows, maybe Caroline will end up going after Enzo eventually if our hearts start to love Enzo a little bit more, because maybe Stefan is just, I'm just not feeling it that Stefan is feeling it. You know what I mean?
It's so true.
Yeah.
about Caroline, you mean?
Yeah, I don't think Stefan is feeling Caroline.
I don't think so either.
No, and so I think maybe that Enzo is going to be kind of the savior. Maybe he's going to come into the rescue. Maybe they will have a relationship. We want to hear what you guys have to say, though. And our last fan question comes from Selena. She says, "Where did Liam go, or is he just not appearing lately?" Oh my gosh, it's so true. Like, where did he go? He just dropped off the.
Well,
face
she
of the earth.
dumped him. Remember,
Yeah.
she did the whole compulsion where she's like, "You won't remember me," and
Right.
so she
I
like,
didn't
broke
miss
up
him.
with him. Yeah,
He was such a weird storyline. Honestly,
That was also forced.
I'm glad he's.
He also looked
MIA.
like he was like 14.
Yeah, he was not attractive. I just wasn't.
You guys are
We're picking on Liam. I know it's awful.
We're like Enzo, Damon, so hot. Liam, good kid.
Remember what I said? It's like varying degrees of hotness. They're all hot. It's just like he's just.
I think everybody on the show is
a little
good
less
looking.
hot.
Matt is
Yeah.
attractive. Like, come on. He didn't
They're
even
all
hold
attractive.
like a candle to
But
Matt.
you
Like,
know who's really attractive? Alaric is really
Yeah.
attractive.
He
He's
is.
just very
Yeah.
handsome. He's very handsome.
He is. Alaric,
is.
everyone is super attractive. And I think Liam is as well. The reason why we're not giving him the benefit of the doubt is because we just didn't understand his purpose.
And we didn't want him with Elena.
And we
'cause
didn't
were
want him
like,
with
this doesn't
Elena.
work. It
And they
didn't-
kissed.
yeah.
And I thought that there was more, there was going to be a badness to him. I thought maybe that that storyline was happening because he knew something he wasn't supposed to.
Right.
Definitely.
But then Kai came into play, and I'm like, what is Liam doing here? Like, what is his purpose?
I definitely thought that he knew Elena was a vampire.
Yeah.
Or I think he
Yeah.
like
I
had
remember
some
that.
connection to
Right.
the storyline somehow.
with as much as he was digging too, like he was already a needy girlfriend. He was like, so, how'd you like heal that girl? I'm like, dude.
See, I thought he was like working with Joe somehow.
Yeah.
We were all trying to figure it
We
out.
were writing the season.
Yes.
Oh, this? Yeah, this.
I know. Oh my gosh. Well, one of our live fan questions that they just wrote in right now, thank you so much, comes from Gina Angelina. Meg, I love your Santa hat and your shirt. Thank you. Thank you. We all did dress up just for you guys tonight, except I apparently missed the memo. Everyone was like, let's dress up Christmas, but they meant like dress up and do Christmas. Me, I'm like the scrub and the jeans.
I'm kind of scrubbing it with you.
No, you guys are so cute. We had to glue Jessica's reindeer.
My poor little
ears,
antler is.
Thank gosh, Lord.
It's like a Wilson
I
flower.
left super glue because, yeah, we had to fix that up. But the rest of your question, thank you for commenting on how cute we are. Do you guys think? Oh, did you guys like Delana in the beginning of the episode, or they were kind of throughout the episode?
Yes, because remember I was so into this moment. Like Jessica was like trying to pass me my lotion.
like,
and I
Oh
was
my
like,
gosh, it was so funny.
I was so into. I was like, this is happening. They're flirting. I love it.
Jessica was trying to literally get Rachel's attention, and she was so into that
like,
moment
bitch.
between Elena.
And then I just like gave up. I just like gave up and tossed it because I was like, she's just way too into this.
She's into it. But yeah, no, I felt it this episode in the beginning and at the end. I don't think that she's going to need Alaric to take away the compulsion or she's still compelled, right?
Or he can't. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but he can't now that he's not.
Oh,
a
he can't.
vampire,
That's right.
yeah.
That's right. But I don't. I don't know, Malynda. It might just be true love.
Okay, I'm gonna.
She's so quiet.
I'm gonna say
I'm so
something.
quiet.
I'm gonna say something, and Rachel, I don't want you to get upset, but I haven't been feeling them the last couple episodes.
I felt them
haven't.
more this episode.
Okay, more this
it's
episode.
because they're actually broken up in real life, okay? And it's not
They've been
as
broken
real.
up for
But I
2
think-
years. Like, come on.
I think the Caroline Stefan thing is getting me in the heart more than Elena.
I will
and
say
Damon
I'm
right
liking
now.
that too, but we gotta stand by, okay? Like give
still
it some
don't
time.
know. I mean, I get the
Right,
Stefan
right.
Caroline thing, but I just don't. I don't think he's feeling it. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think he's feeling either, which upsets me. It upsets me. So let's keep our fingers crossed and hope for the best in the second half of the season. Oh my gosh, we are gonna miss you guys, aren't we? I'm gonna miss all of you.
What are we gonna do?
The next couple weeks.
Tweet us.
Yes, tweet us. Don't forget using the hashtag TVDAS. And even throughout the holidays, we're always on Twitter, let's face it. And we love talking Vampire Diaries with all of you. So happy holidays, everyone. Happy holidays, ladies.
Happy holidays.
And we will see you all in January when we come back, and it's going to be better than ever. So we love you, and we will see you in a couple of weeks.
Bye.
Bye.